This is Coyote News.
Hello, I'm Levi Goots. Tonight on Coyote Sports, we take a look at a freshman who's already pole vaulting his way into the record books. And the swim team finishes off their dual meet season at home. But first, the headlines with Lauren Solek. Lauren?
The Atlanta Falcons are under investigation after a string of emails from the Falcons' head trainer and owner discussing the franchise's concern about its excessive dependence on painkillers to treat players. A class action lawsuit filed by more than 1,800 former NFL players claiming they were encouraged by training staff to misuse painkillers. An outside agency found that the team spent $81,000 on prescription painkillers in 2009. The case is being heard in a Northern California U.S. District Court. It's National Signing Day for NCAA football. The Coyotes have already signed 30 players to this year's class. A social will be held tonight at 5:30 at Vernity Acura in Sioux Falls, where head coach Bob Nielsen will introduce the new class. USD freshman pole vaulter Chris Nelson and senior thrower Danielle Waldner have been named the Summit League Indoor Track and Field Athletes of the Week. This is Nelson's third consecutive weekly honor. Nelson leads the Summit League by 8 inches in the pole vault. This is Waldner's first Career Athlete of the Week award. Waldner won the shot put at the Jack Johnson Classic in Minneapolis. And those are your headlines.
The USD track and field indoor season is underway. Coyote News' Michaela Feldman sat down with one freshman pole vaulter who says he's surprised by his most recent award.
It's important to stay humble. That's what Chris Nilsson, a Kansas City, Missouri native, says. Nilsson, a freshman pole vaulter at USD, was the #1 recruit in the nation coming to college. During his senior year of high school, Nilsson jumped 18.4, breaking the American high school record.
It was kind of one of those experiences where I had to choose one road or the other, going with egotistical or staying humble. So being able to hold my own with the coaches who were trying to get with me all the time made it a lot easier on me for the recruiting process.
Now, Nilsson has broken the USD record for the 2nd straight week.
Nilsson's coach says it's all about the small things that make a big difference during the jump.
Derek Miles is the pole vaulting coach at USD. He says they started looking at Nilsson during his junior year of high school.
We have a very family-oriented, very successful, highly motivated group of pole vaulters. And I think we were fortunate enough to have someone like Chris who is looking for something that we are. And I think that's when you kind of match up.
Nilsson says he ultimately chose USD because of Miles.
He has a really good knowledge of the vault, and instead of just treating your athlete like their points at conference or at nationals, he treats you like an actual person, and he cares about your well-being rather than just success in the program.
Miles says Nilsson has been very successful in making small changes very quickly, and he's just starting to utilize the tools that he has for pole vault.
Confidence is such a big part of it. If you're running in there hard and you're attacking it and you really believe in what you can do, you just really kind of expand what you're capable of doing.
Nilsson says for now, he's focused on being the best pole vaulter he can be.
Get faster, stronger, that'd be fantastic, jump some really good heights, but I want to improve my form, go to some big competitions, and just do my best and represent the Yotes to the best of my ability.
For the Sports Report, I'm Michaela Feldman.
The men and women's track and field teams are home this weekend for the USD Alumni Meet. The USD swimming and diving teams are only a few weeks away from the Summit League Conference Meet. Coyote News' Andy Hartman is live in the muck with the member of the women's team to talk about the season so far. Andy?
Thanks, Levi. The swimming and diving season is wrapping up, but they still have the Minnesota Challenge this weekend and the Summit League Championship in a couple of weeks. I'm joined today by senior captain Ali Fout. Thanks for joining us. So you guys have 2 big matches coming up, 2 big meets. How have you been preparing for it?
Well, taper season is the best time for a swimmer, so we've been sleeping in a lot. We decrease our volume and our intensity in the pool, and we do a lot more focused on power.
All right. And what goals did you have set for this season that you've accomplished or have yet to accomplish?
Well, we'd really like to get 3rd or better again this year. Last year we just edged out IUPUI by 1 point, so that'd be really cool if we could do that again, and maybe even try and beat SDSU would be awesome.
Now, this is your last year. Is there any special marks you want to leave on the team before you leave?
Honestly, for me, I just want to enjoy my last few weeks with my teammates and just end with, I'll be happy with anything as long as I'm with my teammates. So.
Thanks, Allie. The Summit League Championship starts February 15th in Indianapolis. Live from the Muck, I'm Andy Hartman.
Thanks, Andy. The track and field team competed at the Jack Johnson Classic this weekend. Freshman pole vaulter Chris Nilsson cleared 18 feet 2.5 inches. It was a nation-leading height as it would have won the NCAA tournament title last year. The Yotes swept the pole vault event with Nick Johnson and Ethan Bray finishing second and third, respectively. Senior thrower Danielle Waldner set a new school record in the shot put. Other winners included freshman Samara Spencer in the triple jump, Amber Eichhorn in the 5,000-meter run, Shanice Canigan in the pentathlon, and Emily Brigham in the pole vault. The Coyotes will be in the Dome on Saturday for their home opener. Western Illinois' offense was too much for the women's basketball team on Saturday as the Leathernecks prevailed 86-78. The loss snapped the Coyotes' 24-game home winning streak. The Yotes are now 7-2 in Summit League play. Sophomore Allison Arns scored 27 points. J.C. Bradley had 13, and Kate Liveringhouse also scored in the double digits with 11 points. The women are in Denver tonight. Tip-off is at 8. The men's basketball team took down Denver 88-83 at home on Saturday. Matt Mooney had a game-high 27 points, while Tyler Flack recorded 19. The Coyotes now have sole possession over second place in the Summit League as they move to 6-3 in league play. The men take on Omaha tonight at 7. The women's swimming and diving team competed against Omaha in their last home meet this season over the weekend. The Yotes came up short against the Mavericks by 17 points. Senior diver Grayson Herding took home both the 1 and 3 meter dive titles. Herding has also been named Diver of the Week for the 6th time this season. The women earned first place in the 200-meter medley relay with a time of 2:01.49. The Coyotes swept the 100 and 200-meter backstrokes. Individual titles went to Sabrina Sabrianu, Teresa Godlewski, Sam Shutt, and Cassidy Cornell. Both the men and women will compete at the Minnesota Challenge this weekend.